Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss the Seattle scene, Tulalip, Snoqualmie, Muckleshoot. We also touch on bankrolls, hedges, communism, professionalism, John Wick, George Thorogood, Emerald Queen, and Ed quotes Chief Joseph. Ed, you look better now.
I've always been better looking than you.
Your camera's better.
Thank you. It looked good on my end anyway, so.
Well, the moment has arrived, gentlemen.
Hey, John.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Today's guest is John from Pro Craps.
What? I don't get to do the intro?
Oh, yeah, you do the intro, Ed. What am I doing? What am I getting too big for my britches? Do the intro, okay?
Is he going to call me a dumbass in the intro?
I hadn't even thought about it. Ladies and gentlemen, brought to you live from the Casino Tears studio high above the Las Vegas Strip on the 31st floor of the Veer Tower. We bring to you tonight our special guest from the Pacific Northwest, the one and only, the bald-headed John Cocos.
Oh my goodness. How do I even come into that? Wow.
No.
Thanks.
Man, Ed's got a special gift.
That's fantastic.
To take the good with the bad.
That is fantastic. Usually it's good.
I like it, Ed.
We were actually talking about you, Ed, about 20 minutes ago. We had a meeting of the minds for Craps for the Cure, and everybody was saying, you've got to find a way to get Ed on that show because like you jerked every tear out of every person in that building last year. And I'm like, Ed has got a gift. You have a way to reach down, all the bluster aside, to our souls. And that was just the most touching thing still that I can recall in my life. That was just amazing. So yeah,
Well, I'll be there.
Good job, Ed. Cannot
man.
Wait. Bring some tissues.
Wait. That's right.
All right, so John.
Yeah.
Let's get to what you're doing and all that stuff at the end.
Sure.
We've got a number of people that listen to the show that are from the Pacific Northwest, which would be defined as Washington, Idaho, and Oregon, right?
That's right. Even Southern British Columbia, for sure.
Oh, nice. As far as craps go, the casinos there, I know that they're loaded up in Washington. I think you guys have like 29 all Native American casinos.
That's correct.
I think Idaho only has a couple. I don't even know if there's live craps in Idaho. But as far as live craps go, from what I've dug up, it seems like it's in a ton of casinos there.
Almost every Indian casino has craps. There's a few that don't. The one nearest to me just dropped it last year. And that's a casino that's up by Lake Chelan, which is one of the most gorgeous places you'll ever see. And they just dropped craps. Again, I think part of it is because of dealers availability. That's a very seasonal casino. It's Lake Chelan is one of these really great summer hotspots. So in this time of year, it's packed. Rest of the year, it's dead. So they dropped craps. They have roulette still, but they've dropped craps up there. Most of them have it. We're seeing a small decline in the number of tables that are open all day long because, again, dealer shortages.
Okay, so X-Man from Seattle, he says, when I was asking about it, he was like, dude, there's like one table per casino. It's not like multiple tables. Out of your 3 or 4 biggest casinos, correct me if I'm wrong, Tulalip is maybe the biggest one.
You got to learn how to say it correctly.
It is Tulalip.
Tulalip we call it the lip. Locals call it the lip. The lip has got a couple of tables.
Every time I hear that word, I think of fish.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tilapia.
There you go. There you go. Now, the lip is great. They have a couple tables now. They used to have 3. They just dropped one in favor of a couple new blackjack tables. But they had 3. They had one of the coolest tables up there for a longest time. I wish when I had my Pacific Northwest meetup, we had, I think, about 15 people come.
Nice,
I wish Ed could have came to that.
Nice.
It was really cool. We actually practiced in my garage on the way up there. That table had this really cool, like, acrylic top. It was almost like a roll to win table, but without the speed bumps and with felt on top. So it actually had real felt on top, like not like the microfiber on top of the glass.
That's crazy.
And when you would roll the dice, the dealer would type something in and the table would light up beneath, the numbers that won. Like the six would light up or the pass line, whatever one. But it was cool because talk about a hard surface table. I mean, I would say probably 30% of the rolls didn't get to the back wall because they would hit it and just stop dead. You had to actually try to get them there. So the chopper toss at that casino was money because I could skip them right on in there. And a lot of the locals learned how to kind of shoot super deep, like 2 inches from the wall to get them to hit the back wall. But it was a fun table. It took a little bit of adjusting to get used to it. But once you got used to it, you could dial into that dang thing. And it was cool. But now they've gotten rid of it. It's gone now.
So
They went back to the standard.
Tulalip, though, would that be sort of at the pinnacle? The closest thing to the whatever, I don't even know if you can really compare it to Vegas.
Yeah.
The nicest casino there would be what? Top 3?
I would say the top 3 for me, nicest wise. Tulalip is one of them. Emerald Queen Casino down in Tacoma is another one. That's a bigger one. They just did a big renovation. And maybe I'm going to say 6-7 years ago, they reopened. It's gorgeous. It's 2 floors. It's really, really nice, but it's in Tacoma. So it's not the greatest part of town. Tulalip is north of Seattle. It's a good, from Seattle proper, it's a good hour and a half with traffic. It's about 45 minutes from where I used to live. I would have called that my local. It's very Vegas-like. It's a big room. They got, like I said, a couple craps tables. They got about 15 blackjacks. They got 4 or 5 and the roulette there is $1 on the inside, $3 on the outside, so it's affordable.
What about Muckleshoot was the one I'd always hear for poker tournaments that they'd have.
The problem with Muckleshoot is where it's at. It's a decent casino once you get inside the building, but it's in Auburn, which is, for people who know, Auburn is not the greatest part of town.
Man.
As a matter of fact, the last time I was there, I was actually playing there with Blackburn. He was here in town. We met up and played there a couple of times, while he was here on business. And the last night we were there, we stopped, we had dinner, and we're like, should we go back and play or not? We weren't really sure. And we kind of walked through, and there's a smoking side and a non-smoking side, each with a craps table. So the non-smoking side was packed. The smoking side had an opening, but we're like, it's just too smoky. Let's just bag it. And so we went home. We all, shook hands and left.
Who the hell's Blackburn? Who the hell
Blackburn,
is this guy?
He's the guy last year that at Craps for the Cure shaved his beard for $500. He's a cool dude.
Retired Air Force vet.
Yes. Yeah, he's a vet. So we leave and some guy gets stabbed at that table. Like literally we walked away. Some guy was there. He was there to off somebody else. And that guy wasn't there. And he was like apparently just pissed off that he couldn't kill the guy he was supposed to. So he stabbed a dude in the neck at the craps table. The guy bled out right there and died.
Damn.
Like a half hour after we left. Literally. I didn't go the next day. Blackburn went back the next day. They were open. They literally cut that piece of carpet out, put new shit down, and
man,
we're playing craps again. Yeah. That's Auburn. So,
was it like literally at the craps table?
Yeah, right there. While the guy was shooting craps, and the guy ran up to him and literally got him in the neck. Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? It's totally crazy. But then the other one we like a lot now is Snoqualmie. So Snoqualmie is
that's horrible, man. The guy died at the craps table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, did they keep playing that night after they took him away?
No, they roped it off that night, but the next night they were playing.
Oh man.
He went back there and I'm like,
brutal.
Can you see the stain? He's like, dude, they changed the carpet out already and the table's open.
Those casinos, man, they don't care.
I mean, isn't that crazy?
Out for blood and money.
Yep.
Blood they got blood.
So yeah, they got blood. Yeah. And your money. So I don't play there very often. It's really far out of the way for me. And again, it's just not one of the nicer places, but like every place in the Northwest, one thing about the Muckleshoot Casino that's really, really cool is their restaurant, their steakhouse is up on, I don't want to lie, I think it's the 20th floor. I think it's up, you take an elevator to it and it overlooks, they're so close to Mount Rainier. So all those awesome Mount Rainier pictures, you're looking right at it.
Sweet.
Like it's like the most amazing views you'll ever have during a meal. It's fantastic. Second only to Snoqualmie. Snoqualmie's steakhouse overlooks the valley and the river. It's just amazing. There's a big set of waterfalls there. Every Indian casino, I think, for the most part, they're set up on tribal lands, which have this natural beauty to them anyway. Yeah. So they're on a river. They're always by a water source because they have rights to the fishing. And you'll find water and mountains and just amazing, stunning views.
Man, that's a nice, man. A little scenic.
Totally. And
nice.
They used to be kind of like shitholes back in the day, like going back 20, 30 years. I remember going to these casinos and, it's an 8-foot ceiling with like, the white drop-in ceilings, like that garbage, and people smoking like chimneys. And you go in there and I'm a former smoker.
Oh, dude, isn't one of those casinos smoke-free? Someone was telling me.
Yeah, I think the Lip is smoke-free now. I think the Lip is smoke-free. I think Snoqualmie, half of it is smoke-free. But it used to be I'm telling you, these 8-foot, like, right, you could touch this thing with your hand. And as a former smoker, I had the heart attack and croaked, right? I love the smell of smoke.
Glad you're back.
I wish I could smoke again. Dude, literally, I follow cars. No, I follow cars where somebody's smoking in front of me just so I can smell it through my vent. Like, that's what a degenerate I am. I couldn't even play in these casinos because it was so, like, you couldn't even see your hand. It was so smoky. They've all gone to these massive ceilings, and they've renovated themselves to be Vegas-like, and they're all Snoqualmie Casino. If you can get a look at that ceiling is probably 60 feet tall.
Sweet.
And it's all these, like, they're not real, but it looks like they're 6x6 timbers. It's like a giant log cabin. Now there's steel beams with wood on the outside, but you walk in there, you just want to take pictures of the place. It's amazing. And the center bars are cool. They're trying to become destinations. Now, nobody's coming to Seattle or our area to gamble. It's not a destination for gamblers, but people are saying, I'm coming to Seattle anyway to see family. Is there a place I can stay that's not the Holiday Inn downtown near all the, the Seattle crazy? Let me stay at the casino. Their hotels are much nicer. They're brand new. Snoqualmie just opened up a new hotel, and now people are choosing to stay there.
Yeah.
Because they're nice while they're visiting family, friends, and going to Seahawks games and that sort of thing. So they're becoming not destinations of themselves, but they're becoming a good little hub.
Which one is closest to where the Seahawks play?
Snoqualmie. Snoqualmie and Emerald Queen are both about the same distance. Emerald Queen is a little south up I-5. I-5 can be tough traffic-wise, so a lot of people are choosing Snoqualmie. It's about 25 minutes away, and it's a straight shot into the stadiums. The hotel opened up like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice, man. Now's the time to go.
I think that's why they built it. Totally. Yeah, you go there, you stay at Snoqualmie, you're about a 15-minute ride, maybe 20-minute ride into Seattle. It's easy, super easy. It's a brand new hotel. It's a great casino. They have 3 craps tables. They give us private tables. Ian Olson, you guys know Ian Olson from chat probably. That dude makes a phone call. Boom, private table. What day do you want it? Which table do you want? We pick our own table. We pick our own minimums, and off we go.
Man, Ian's got the direct line, huh?
The hook up.
Snaps his finger. Ian.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so Snoqualmie, or is it Emerald Queen? They have the 3 tables?
Yeah, EQC, Emerald Queen Casino, I think they've got 2. I've only ever seen 1 open, though. Even on the weekends, I've only ever seen 1. But yeah, Snoqualmie will oftentimes have all 3 tables going.
All these guys have cool names, Ed. Muckleshoot, Snoqualmie, Tulalip, right?
Yep.
Emerald Queen.
It's all tribal. It's all tribal though.
The real casinos are tribal. So if you want to play craps or roulette or any kind of slot machine, you got to be on a tribal lands. There are other casinos. They call them house-backed poker rooms is the official name for it. The strip mall DGen casino where you're going to play $2 blackjack. And that's where everybody, like, they come off of work and they bring their cash tips and they buy in for $64.
What about that Angel of the Winds casino?
It's a great casino. It's kind of far away. It's tucked up. When you go from Tulalip, it's another probably 15-20 minute drive. And then it's kind of back into the reservation. It's a cool little place. They have 1 craps table. It's a $5 table. They have a sign, like a digital sign right by the table that has the longest throws of the day plus the longest roll in history at that casino.
What is the longest roll in history over there?
I think it's 76.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, but each day you get you're fighting for your name to be up there, and it's a cool. And again, it's like it's not even a break-in. The dealers there have been there forever. A lot of our locals love that casino because again, it's a quick $5 game. There's $5 games at Tulalip also. Angel of the Winds is great.
Well, okay. So as far as the craps games go, your table maxes and mins, are they pretty much all the same? Like I was hearing $500 is a table max.
It is.
No.
Everywhere in the state.
Everywhere?
Everywhere in the state. It's a law.
Wow.
The state mandates $500 max. They can set their own minimums. So you'll see a lot of places at $5. Like Tulalip has $5 all the time, except for like Friday and Saturday nights where they raised it to 10.
Oh, wow. That's great.
But it's 5 to 500. Everywhere you go. The roulette table, same thing. I think the outside max on roulette's $250, but the inside max, it's something weird on that. But yeah, $500. So what you'll see is some people are racing to table max. Ed, how fast could Ed get to $500 on a bet? Like,
yeah,
you're there without thinking about it. So you'll see some people just gas pedal, lean in, and some people, it pains me to say this, but I've been at countless times guys buying in for $184 or $68, and they just left the job and they're emptying out their whatever they got, right? So there's that end of it, and they're just, please God, get me $14 more so I can
the story of America.
Go buy some milk, right? Seriously, let me go buy some eggs tonight, right?
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere.
But a lot of people who have, if you're buying it for 500, they're looking for table max. They're just going to pedal it up and see what happens.
Do they have the bonus bets on any of the tables?
They do. You know what's weird, Ed? You'll crack up with this. Tulalip, specifically has the right pay, 35 and 175.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
But the hop bets and the center action is 15-4-1. So you're getting jacked on the inside.
Not 15-1, but 15-4-1.
Yeah. So it's basically 14-1
On the hops?
on the hops and on the center action. So like your horn bets all pay wrong.
Man, just penny pinching.
Jeez.
They're
Just
screwing you by
kidding.
one little bit, but they're paying you good on the ATS.
It's like 65 blackjack.
100%.
So I was hearing something different, that a lot of casinos don't have that feature bet.
No, they've got it. The Lip has it. Snoqualmie certainly has it. Some of the smaller ones don't. I don't think Clearwater is the one you take a ferry to.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have it, but they have bubble craps now. So we're starting to see some of that bleed into the play as well.
Are there a lot of experienced players playing craps that you see, regulars that know what to do? What's the casino that you say you take a ferry to?
Clearwater.
I was talking to a player there, and they were saying, yeah, most players don't know what they're doing at all. And that goes for the dealers too.
It really depends. Like if it's a true locals casino, there's one in Yakima, Legends over in Yakima, or Tulalip or Angel of the Winds. A lot of locals that are going there all the time. They have their ways of playing and they know what they're doing pretty well. The destination casinos, Clearwater, you might count that as one because you have to take a ferry to it. The one up north, I think it's Snoqualmie or is it Red Winds? Anyway, the one up north, again, people are going there for other things. They're not your experienced players. So I find that, and probably in Vegas too, like the locals casino, even though they're buying in for a couple $100 3 times a week, they know what they're doing. They just don't have the cash to maybe execute the way they would like to. I find the players that I play with are pretty experienced. We have kind of a crew here that sort of travels around. So there's about 10 to 15 people that are,
Oh, cool.
you might call them the Seattle crew. They have a Facebook group and like, hey, who's going where? And they text every day. And usually 2 or 3 of them are playing together. We have one Golden Touch graduate that's with us, and she's Holly. She's an amazing shooter. Gina's a great shooter. I mean, we have some great players around here
Man, nice, dude.
that like to play together.
Is there a difference? I mean, can you generalize a difference from a player type compared to Vegas? I mean, you've got different obstacles.
Yeah.
Having a $500 max bet, I'd wonder how that would change how I would play.
You would play differently because you're shooting for max. If you know you can only go to 500, and in Vegas where your max is,
He's going to start at 500.
I mean, you have to work to get there. Here, you don't have to work that hard with your bet levels, right? You're going to get there quick and ride that out. The problem is you would get there quick, and now you're doing, put bets with odds, and you're having to play this big 6 and 8. I've seen people play a $600 6, $100 with $500 cap put bet, and the big 6 and 8 all at the same time because they get the max so fast. You roll 6, 7, 6s or 8s, and there's nothing else you can do.
Man, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play the big 6 and 8.
I've seen it because the guys have gotten to max on the put and the place. Like, well, I just won another, whatever, $1,800. I guess I'm putting $500 over here.
So is it common for you to see people hit max? I mean, probably or not. Or is a player type more conservative there? I mean, with lower limits, I feel like they will be.
Yeah, most players here are much more conservative. The guys who go for the max are here. They're coming from out of town. They're here for a show. A lot of these casinos have big acts come in and they're in for a show and they'll shoot for it. But most of the locals are not playing big money. They're buying in for 200-300. They're grinding it out. They're doing their thing a couple days a week. And so they're not, I don't want to use the word professional.
Yeah.
But they're regular, right? And I think locals casinos, you find that these regulars are going to be grinding every day. And when there's a big act like Joan Jett comes, or we had George Thorogood come through here. When George Thorogood comes, boy, you see the guys come in to watch that concert.
Bad to the bone, Ed. Bad to the bone.
I love me some George Thorogood.
Oh my God.
I drink alone.
Man, he's still playing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the fights come in. We have a lot of UFC stuff come in. They'll bring in players that'll play differently, but the locals are not hyper aggressive. The locals are grinders. I think that's what you'd expect in almost any town.
Yeah, respect. Okay, you just mentioned something. You said they're not pro. You have a site called Pro Craps.
That's right.
I want to ask you something. This is to you too, Ed. What do you consider? Is there such a thing as a Pro Craps player nowadays? What would be considered pro versus an amateur, or are there any? Literally, are there any pro craps? Ed, are you a pro craps player? I feel like you are. I feel like you are a pro.
Me?
Yeah. I feel like you.
I don't think I'm a pro.
Okay. Well, what is a pro then?
A pro you would never know the name of.
Oh, okay. They're the silent, killers walking in the shadows, right?
You will see people that I can see them at a table and I go, they're pros, and they're in and they're gone. I told you I had that one guy.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
With the big glasses, and I was watching him, and I was like, he bought in on a $25 table by $200, and I thought, oh, this won't last long. But he was a pro. He walked out of there with like $3,000.
Okay, so what's the quality of a pro craps player then? They always winning money?
Nobody's always winning money.
A pro player is what in your mind? Like, yeah, I feel like you just described like a hired mercenary, something like a hitman.
Well, they know what they're playing. They know how to play their toss, and they will do that regardless of whatever else is going on at the table. And they don't make a lot of eye contact with folks. They don't get excited. They're just in there kind of flying low, and they just boom, boom, boom. Then when the table turns, they're out. They're gone.
I aspire for that, that level of.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how you would describe a pro player.
It's a good question. That's what I'm saying.
I've known a lot of guys over the years, and known of other guys over the years that were really pretty much professional players. I would say I'm more of a, I don't know what I would be. I don't know what I would
feel like you would, because you go about your business pretty professionally at the table, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of fit.
I think that's the word.
Even keel, you weather the storms. You can't tell if you're down or up. I did see Ed have some emotion. For the most part, you're just going about your business. You win the same as you lose. Kind of been there, done that. Kind of like the athletes that didn't go crazy when they scored. They just put the ball down, shake someone's hand, and they didn't have to tell everyone in the world that they just scored. They've just been there a million times,
Yeah.
I think professionalism is the word. Like professionalism, not professional, right? And I think attitude, like you used the word businessman, like a business-like approach. That's a way to describe it. When I named the channel Pro Craps, I wouldn't call myself a pro, like I'm making money every day playing it, but I wanted to hold my channel and myself to this high standard of professionalism. And what I preach is what Ed talked about, right? Get in, get out. Sense when it's going ugly. If you're up, you're gone. Not getting emotionally attached to the wins and the losses. Like those things. Was it McGovern? I'm going way back now. Who was it that said, I can't describe a communist, but I know one when I see one?
McGovern.
Was it McGovern?
Oh, McGovern.
I forget who it was.
Who was he? I do declare.
One of these guys from way back.
Senator McGovern.
Wasn't it McGovern that was doing the communist thing?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that who was that guy?
Was it McGovern?
It sounds
like
somebody
else.
Sounds like it was. And what was that thing where he was like going after people for being calling them all communists, right?
Yeah. And they're like, can you describe a communist? He's like, well, I can't write a definition, but I know it when I see it. I think it was something like that. That's how professional gamblers are. Like there's just a way. For example, on the cruise ship, 4 or 5 people went to the little class in the morning and they showed them how to make a pass line bet without any odds and
nice, dude.
Collect and same bet every time, right? Those are not professional players. They're just learning. They're kind of really? Right. And you come in and they're watching you play and like, oh, what are you doing? And like just a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of emotionlessness goes a long way. That's what Ed's describing. Like just being at peace with your game. Is anybody making a living at this? No. But can you approach it like a business person would or like a professional would? Yeah. Sure.
You just have a higher standard. I think it's how you act and behave at the table.
I don't know. I think there are people making a living at it.
Man, I know Ed's got this thing about I buy into this story that there's like a secret society of like craps players.
I know of a guy that's got like probably $5 million worth of chips in a vault in his floor in Las Vegas right now.
Oh, I like that, dude.
Wow.
I like it. Man, what's his handle?
Is he a professional?
I mean, the John Wick of craps sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, so
right.
You got to define it, and you can't really define it, but I would call him a professional.
Man, dude, I want to be the John Wick of craps, dude. I should start dressing in just black suits, black tie, black shirt.
And I would even go a step further. I would say I think most professionals can play either side, but they make their big money on the pass line side or the right side. But there are professional don't players. There are professional right side players, but a real professional will play either side.
That's true, man. Switch hitter.
Because they're just there to make their paycheck, a couple of $3,000, get out.
Yeah, interesting.
I agree. So what do you think about this, Ed? So here, I get to make Ed mad now. You ready?
Oh, so, please.
Not that hard. Let's do it.
But this is exactly the point though, right? So I've said this before on my show and elsewhere. People who rely on the ATS, and this will make you mad as well. If you rely on the ATS, are you a pro or not? Like I saw a guy post on Facebook, might have been in the Casino Tiers group actually. Hey, I bought him for 300 out for, 3250. And how'd you do it? Well, PSO, and some guy hit the ATS. And I'm like, okay, that's wonderful chip porn. It's a cool story to tell, but the professional doesn't need that. Like it's a great bonus bet. It's a bonus bet, right? And I'm like,
John, you and Ed are going to align on this. This is me. This is for me.
I get ticked off when people say, this is how I'm a great craps player. This is how I won. Like, that's not you being a good craps player. That's you being there when lightning struck.
I disagree. You can create your own lightning, dude. You could just hang out in the rain with an umbrella and a golf club and get that.
On that same roll, did you turn your 64 across into 1500 before the ATS hit? Like, did you do the things you needed to do during the roll to capitalize on what was happening? And then, and by the way, I got this extra paycheck too.
Dude,
that to me, right?
Guest is sucking up to Ed. They're saying everything that Ed wants to hear that he says to me. Right, Ed?
Well, I say that a lot to you, and I used to make a lot more money on the ATS than I did on the tables. And until you learn to toss, you can't really learn how to transpose your sets into giving you a higher probability of hitting everything. The shortest period of time I've ever hit them was 15 tosses. I mean, that's quick. There's been a few a little bit under that out there, but I mean, that's quick. But anytime you get one that quick, there's some luck. There's always a happy accident, as you say, 10 ton. There's like a 12 showed up all of a sudden. So, if I'm down to just needing a 9 or a 10, something like that, or a 9 and 11 on the tall side, I'm going to go with sets that tend to give me 9s and 11s. So what if they give me a 3 and a 4 all of a sudden? That's just something on the other end. I'm playing it, but I'm going to shoot for that one side first and then see if I can pick off the other side.
So
the other side will come as an accident sometimes.
But that's a professional way of doing it, right? Like I say, it's not dumb luck. Guys that say I turned 300 into 5,000 through dumb luck versus a guy that says I turned 300 into 5,000. I beat the shit out of the table and I'm focused, dialed in, and tossing correctly, and I've made it happen. There's an attitude and an approach to that that's different than the guy that's just going, woohoo, we hit the ATS.
When a guy goes from 10, 5, 10 to quarters across, that's a big move. And then when he goes from quarters to 50s or hundreds across, those are big, big moves. In my opinion, you don't do that on just anybody. You do that on yourself, one or two really, really, really good shooters that maybe you've got a whole lot of faith in, and then you're already up. I think you'd have to be already up on that, but that's just my opinion, 10 ton.
In a lot of ways, I would agree with a big part of that as a baseline. But John, I have this issue with that because I feel like that comment or people that have that thought about the ATS is that, yes, it is just a bonus. I play it aggressively and I allocate it as a place bet with a very high payout. And I think of it that way. This is a place bet.
Well, and you look, because you're betting it at big numbers, you will lay any number that you can lay to bring in a guaranteed win on it. I mean,
iron lock, dude.
There's a difference than the guy that's doing it 5-5-5 and never lays.
Yeah, and that's
I would never even consider laying for a 5-5-5 bet.
I agree with you, Ed. In fact, I would maybe started even thinking about the lay when I was doing it for 10-10-10. Maybe.
Well, maybe on the last number.
Yeah, there's a good argument for that. But 5-5-5, I say no. But if you go in there aggressively viewing this as a place bet, almost like a long-term place bet with a massive payout. And if you've done it, and I've done it multiple times, again, I'm not throwing out 300 on every shooter. Far from it. It's now just on me. Occasionally during a session, depending on what I'm seeing, I'll take a shot at it. But I'm usually playing just to get close, because when you're close at a high level, then you can do what Ed just says, throw out a lay, be in the most enviable position at a craps table where you know you're making money.
I think this goes into the whole professional amateur thing. If you're buying in for $500 and you're just going 5-5-5 and a little pass line, you're trying your other stuff and you're saying a Hail Mary that something happens, that's one guy. If you're bringing your bankroll is split up into multiple parts. Here's my gameplay part, and here's my bankroll that's just for the ATS. And if I hit a small ATS, I've buffered that bankroll. Now I'm pressing those bets up, like Ed was saying. If I hit it again, or if I get a chance to lay and rack 500 or $1,000 no matter what, now I've made that bankroll bigger, and now I'm out there quarters. or 50s. If you're using it as a play and you've planned bankroll and you have a plan to kind of press through it, that's different than saying a Hail Mary. And I think that's what and that's what you're doing. That's a pro move.
I think it is a pro move, but I also disagree with the people, and I know there are a lot of them that want to keep separate bankrolls. No, these are part of the same game, and integrate this into your gameplay, not keeping it, oh, I've got my bankroll for this. And then, okay, cool. Let's take a bankroll for the hard ways then, or take a bankroll for this. Integrate it.
It's what I've been doing. I've been doing that recently.
See, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. I've got a pass line parlay bankroll. I've got a hard ways bankroll. I got my
You bring an accountant with you to manage 3 different racks?
My rack's got 4 spots in it. That's how I do it. Right. And as I buffer those things up, I play them differently, and it keeps me looking at where I'm making money today.
That's a level of accounting respect. Okay. But I still think a player needs to start by integrating all of it into one cohesive game plan, but respect that you are doing that. Shit, that seems like a fucking difficult and a hassle, Ed, especially as things get deep enough. This game's already
we are interviewing Mr. Lamer over here, who takes his own little custom Lamers. Yeah, he takes his own Lamers and separates his bankroll.
I mean, hey, listen, that is a level of detail. Maybe you're an accountant in another life.
I don't consider it separate. I consider it all one bankroll for this session. I'm going to bet 5-5-5 on myself. Maybe some other people are not, or I'm going to do 10-5-10, whatever I'm going to do. And it's all in the buy-in. It's all built into my buy-in, and you don't let them take every dollar. So you've got a stop loss limit. If it's not working, you get out.
I mean, interesting approach, John. I feel like it would be a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it's how I keep focused. To me, like having the rack management crap that I do, it's annoying to a lot of people to watch me do it, but it keeps me plugged in and ready to go. My rack is a mess. It looks like it's a mess. To me, it makes sense. It's like a happy disaster.
Yeah.
But that's how I know what's coming up. I have my next power press money sitting there. My counters are there. My different bankrolls are there. It is one session bankroll, but I'm like, I segment. I'm not going to dump more money into parlay attempts or whatever else attempts if it's not hitting that day. My brain needs to like have a task. Otherwise, I'm looking around for squirrels and I screw up. And I need that grounding. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of people that do keep separate bankrolls for that. I really don't like that. I don't think they should. This is one game. I don't know, man. That's not big boy craps, man. In my opinion, you got to play these things all together, all at once, and figure it out. It's going to change per shooter. I know that there's a lot of players that do that. I just don't see what the point is. Oh,
can you name them? Because I know a bunch of people who claim they have different bankrolls, and I don't see any of them do it at a table.
I'm not naming any names.
I'm not asking you to name them. Can you name them? This is my ATS money, and it going, can you really name somebody that has a separate bankroll for those bets?
I know someone.
Honestly, one person.
I know one person, and now John.
No.
And I think there's another person that I know too.
No, John didn't say he had a different bankroll. He said he had the same buy-in, but he segments his buy-in.
Okay. Well, listen.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
When you do your bean counting at the end of the year.
On my ATS, I'm up $20,000 and I'm down $5,000 on the regular time. No, you don't do that.
Right.
Uncle Sam don't care.
I don't think you should do that, regardless of Uncle Sam or not. I don't know. I just think it's all integrated into one part of your game. Okay, this underscores how many ways there are to play this game and divide it up. I mean, that's really interesting to me that you do that, John. I mean, that's for the hard ways too.
I like to keep it. Yeah.
Dude.
Well, I pay attention to that stuff. Like I pay attention to like what's making money, because you can lose it. If you have a big rack, you can lose sense of, oh yeah, I think I hit a couple of hard ways. I forget how many I hit. I know. And I don't do it every time. I don't always have a hard ways bankroll, but I like to know what's generating the wealth as it's happening. And sometimes you can get lost. And I think for me, like I said, my brain just works in a way that I have to sort of bean count.
Interesting. Interesting. Listen, craps gameplay, there's a flow to it. Mm-hmm. Part of being a pro goes into, well, your bets are going to be dramatically different, possibly for shooter to shooter, but maybe when you're just learning the game, they're always going to stay the same. They're going to stay the same for you. They're going to stay the same for the next guy. I think a pro will have that innate feel and figure it out. So in Seattle, though, are all of the tables, since there aren't a lot at these places, are they always packed?
They're not always packed. You can almost always find a spot unless there's a group getting together. And like I say, if Ian rings the bell and says, hey, we're all going to go to the Snoqualmie, off we go, right? A lot of times Gina will say, hey, I'm going to Angel tonight. Who's coming, right? Or Norm or Craig, one of these guys will just post out there, hey, we're going to go. And 4 of us will show up and we dominate half the table. What you'll find a lot is that if you want a spot on a table here, you don't have to wait very long.
That's kind of nice.
That's not.
Yeah. The group will play as long as they can, but the locals who are coming in either to get in and get out are going to get in and get out, or they're going to buy in for $87 and they're going to lose it in 10 seconds and they're gone anyway. The tables recycle, I think, pretty quick, especially during the week. On the weekends, a little different vibe because people are coming to Seattle to see a show or whatever. They're staying there. They have a little bit more longevity, but I find that you don't have to wait that long because they recycle pretty quick. There's not a lot of money out there.
That's interesting.
The average buy-in is $200-300. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the average buy-in being $200-300 is if you want to go on the table, you don't have to wait it out very long. But again, you're looking at like somebody's going to lose their paycheck probably for you to get a spot, which is a little bit sad in itself.
That's not your problem, my problem, or anyone's problem except their problem.
But you know what's funny? As the older I get, though, I'm sitting there going, I want that spot. I don't wait it out to get my stick right or whatever. And I'm like looking at the rack. And I'm going, that guy's got like 4 reds and a green. I'm like, he's not going to be here very long. And then I'm like, I want the spot, but I don't want the guy to lose his last $37 either. You know what I mean? That's why I don't play poker.
That's an interesting dynamic, Ed. I look at those when I spot. I'm like, all right. I just wait. I'm like, I want that guy to lose.
Right.
We walk up to tables in Biloxi and we look around and we look and see how many chips are in the rack, how many happy faces there are, and how many sad faces there are. And do we want to hang on or do we want to just move on? But there's always 2 or 3 guys that have got $5,000 in 20s in their pockets and they're only buying in with 100. So you're gonna have that guy. You think you're gonna get that spot. Next thing you know, he's digging out a couple hundred more in 20s.
Oh man. The old hokey dokey dude. I've been fooled by that so many times.
Well, the nice thing about here is that because there's a lot of locals that are, that from playing all the time, and you get to a table and you see Craig at the end, and you see Holly over there, okay, I said, Gina's over here. Like, you're going to have shooters. And if they're there, you're like, this is going to be a good table tonight. And it's like, A, they're my people. B, I know they can play. They can shoot. They can bet. They're not going to stroke the dealers. It's good. And I think that local group is getting bigger and better all the time. They're driving it. They're like I said, they're inviting each other out and they're doing their thing. It's a cool vibe, but you have to travel. There's like the casinos are all 45 minutes apart. So there's no,
I feel so sorry for you.
There's no hopping casino. Yeah, I know you gotta, but for me now, where I live now, I'm 2.5 hours. Like for me to get to Legends. Yeah. If I go to Yakima to go to Legends Casino in Toppenish, that's a good 2.5 hours for me. The Lip now is 3 hours from me. So I have to make it a plan to go.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well fly to Vegas. At that point,
I mean, I can actually, it's shorter to fly to Vegas than drive to the casino now.
So that group, are there certain tables that are, obviously in Vegas, there's certain tables that I have that I like.
Sure.
Have you guys all identified certain crews at a certain house that are more pro,
Yes and no. There's some break-ins for sure because there's no craps teaching out here, right? So they'll bring a person in from blackjack, and I've had experience where the person's being trained on the table live, right? That's happened to me a few times, but by and large, on the weekends, you don't have that problem. And I think as far as favorite tables go, each of our shooters has their favorite table. I know that Gina, for example, loves Angel. I think Holly likes the Lip the best. A lot of us like Snoqualmie the best. You get used to those tables.
Yeah.
And they have a comfort zone. So you'll walk into these casinos, and I'll bet you 6 times out of 10 on a random Friday or Saturday, you'll see somebody you know. And I know that if I see, like I said, Holly over there, or if I see Craig, if I see Craig at the end and Craig's got chips in his rack, it's a good night because that guy can shoot from the end. And you get to know that, and you see them all the time. When in Vegas, you're going there with $3K to burn and you're never seeing the same people twice. Right. And I think a lot, unless you're going to the Brownwater Bash, you're not seeing the same people all the time. Right. Maybe Ed does because there are some locals out there that are frequenting Biloxi, but a destination place like Biloxi or Vegas, you're just not going to see the same people. You probably don't even see them every day at the Aria, right?
You're only going to see them for like a 2-day stretch. If they're here in town, you'll then see these same players. Do you think the atmosphere at the craps table is different than it is in Vegas, or it's always the same and universal as far as like chill or different?
I think it's pretty chill. I think here we're all friends, right? Most of the time we are friends. We know each other. So it's, hey, how you been? You get a hug when you walk up the table because you know people, right? And it's a level of business person special, I guess that you want to call it, that you see with some of the locals for the most part. The degenerates, the down on their luck locals, different story. But the rest of us, it's a pretty good, even keeled family vibe. That's not vacation. Let's go get drunk and high five everybody. You don't have that here. And in fact, drinks aren't free here. You got to pay for every drink at the table.
Oh man, Ed, you're not
That
going.
rules me out. No.
Ed's
done.
canceled his flight.
And it's
ripping up his.
I didn't know.
ticket.
$7 to $9. They walk up and they're like, yeah, $7. What?
Man,
You got to give them two red chips for a drink.
Why do they do that, Ed? Why do they do that?
It's the same as the Seminoles down in Florida, dude.
Why?
They charge you.
Everything, huh?
I don't want to say anything.
Man,
But there is self-service coffee. We do have self-service coffee, water, and Coke though. So
we got that. We got that going. Yeah, you can get that coffee.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, you'd have to pay for your drinks, but there's goodness to it too. Like I said, you're on tribal land, so there's great scenery. If you really want to dig into it, there's great history. Like as you walk around the casino,
I can buy paintings,
right?
dude.
Oh my God. That's kind of nice having that scenery, but I mean, it's not like the craps tables are in front of a nice window.
Actually, at the Snow, they are. At the Snow, you can,
nice,
where the one table from the
that's
one
kinda
side,
nice.
you can look out the windows and see the view.
That
through
is
the
kind of
steakhouse.
nice, Ed. I mean, seeing a mountain, and river, and
Yeah.
deer.
I can get a painting. That's awesome. What a great statement.
I can get a painting and buy and just go where the drinks are free.
Okay, so you're paying for drinks. What about the odds? Are they 3, 4, 5? Or are they
No, 10x. They're 10x.
really?
I think Snoqualmie is they're 10x of Snoqualmie too. I know the Lip is 10x. I think Angel might be 5x.
But you're still at $500 max.
$500
right?
max, yeah. So what they do is they cap your odds at that. So you can do like 100 with 500 odds, but you can't go past that on the odds.
Oh man.
So you can't do 500 and 2,500. You can't go there. They'll cap you with what you can do. And if you don't know, you try it and they'll say, not going to happen.
The horseshoe in Tunica has 100 times odds. You can go in there with a $10 bet and put $1,000 odds down.
Well, I think they cap it when you get the flat bet. So if the flat bet is at table max, you cannot 10x the flat bet on odds. They won't let you do that. They'll get you to a certain point. And from house to house, by the way, it's vig up front or auto buy. So it's different everywhere. So you're not going to have a consistency on that either. You have to know where your auto buys are and where the pay up front vigs are.
That's my ultimate pet peeve. The vig up front on the 4 and 10. That is that's a deal breaker.
It's becoming less of a thing. We're starting to see that fade away. And actually one casino here, I want to say it's the Lip. I bought the 5 and 9. I asked if I could do it, and they're like, well, we don't typically take that bet, but sure. And they let me do it, but it's not an advertised thing yet.
Yeah, you can do that in Vegas now.
Yeah, if you ask for it, they'll let you do it. If it's not a break-in house, they'll let you do it.
Yeah.
Eventually, that'll become a thing.
So, John, if you had to recommend for any Vegas player, and let's say they're in the Seattle area, and they're just coming in for some reason, and you had to pick one, what's the casino to go to play craps?
It depends on where you're staying, but I think number 1 would be Snoqualmie. Number 2 would be Tulalip. Yeah. If you're north end, go to the Lip. If you're south end, go to Snoqualmie.
Okay.
If you're down south, like near Portland, there's a couple of great casinos out there. There's one called Alani, which is
yeah, that's right.
It's in Vancouver, Washington, which is on the border of Washington, Oregon, down south. Great casino. They've got, I want to say 7 craps tables there. There's a lot. It's a huge casino.
Man, that's kind of nice. All right, dude.
Yeah, it's like Portland's home casino. It's huge. They just built a hotel. It just opened up. So it's about 2.5, 3 hours south of Seattle. Vancouver, Washington. It's all the way down there. But if you're in the Portland area, that's the place to go. If you don't mind a little bit of a drive, there's a place, I'm blank on the name right now. But anyway, it's on the coast of Oregon. My son used to always play there. It's a $5 table. It's an 8-foot tub, and there's no stick person. This is one where they had 2 dealers only. Each of them has a stick, and you can place your own center action there. Spirit Mountain, it's called.
Damn, a lot of cool names, dude.
Dude, you place your own center action. You put your own horn bets. They pay them, but because there's no stick person, you just drop. And literally, the table's 8 feet. It's got 2 sides. You fit 3 people on a side, and it's almost like there's no like center line, like where they yell at you. You can just drop them at the end.
That's kind of cool. That's
Crazy.
interesting.
Yeah. It's
right?
a neat little table.
So since you just mentioned the 8-foot table there, are all the tables 12? You got any of those, any of the big boys?
No big boys. They're all 12s. I think there's one 14-footer at EQC, but the rest of them are 12s. Nothing noticeably short. Yeah, they're all pretty standard. There's no crazy bouncing. They're all about the same. There was one table had the old school, like not the microfiber, but the felt, like the real felt. That's gone now. They're all pretty neutral.
John, can you say anything bad about the players in Seattle? A full-length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and will tell all of your fellow craps-playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-07. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is number 1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.